Well, Dave, that brings us back to this very pivotal year, I suspect, for humanity at large. That's how big it is, I think, what happens in America this year. As I look at it, I should be careful of making judgments, but I do so as an admirer of America, and one that wants to see America, you know, I'm not saying it's perfect, but maintain its leadership. You know, one really wonders whether there's any chance of a Joe Biden doing a full second term, for example. Will he, maybe it's a basic or a silly question, but will he really be the candidate for the Democrats? That's what a lot of
Nobody
Australians
knows, and that's the thing. Nobody knows. He could fall down or up the stairs and break a hip tomorrow. I mean, anything could happen, and then they have Kamala Harris, who was polling at about 1% in her own party when she dropped out when she was running against Joe Biden to be president a couple of years ago. Then they have a huge mess on their hands, and I have never met one single person who thinks that she's competent enough to be president of the United States. So as we talk about all of these huge issues that are occurring right now, whether it's the border or the basic stuff as it pertains to biological reality, we need serious people. Actually, that is one thing that I thought when I was in Israel. Israel, this is a serious country, a serious group of people who have a common history and a set of traditions and things of that nature. And because of the violence that has constantly been after them, they look at things very seriously and they try to deal with problems seriously. That doesn't mean they always succeed. October 7th is a catastrophic failure that we probably won't know the true nature of for many, many years. But I was thinking, if something terrible, something unheard of, like an October 7th happened in America, we have almost no serious leaders anymore. We don't have a trusted class of media experts to analyze things properly. Everyone will probably just go off further into their own caves. And some people will be thrilled that America got attacked. And some people will think it was this conspiracy or that conspiracy. We have very few things that are tying us together anymore. So when a country does not honor its history, does not know how to go back and tell its story properly and marvel at the founding fathers as opposed to trying to tear down their statues, well then, when something really bad happens, which in my estimation, unfortunately, seems inevitable. I'm not a very black-pilled person generally. I would say, I'm not an eternal optimist. I would say I'm a world-weary optimist. And I think you have to be to do what we do for a living, right? You have to, because you believe you can help shift the world or at least slightly position it in a better way. But if you look at what has happened in America over the last couple of years, where 7 million people have come into our border, we don't know who they are in 3 years. 3 years, 7 million people. It seems inevitable that something terrible is going to happen. And if it happens, how will we get through that? That Joe Biden's going to bring the country together? And I'll even take the other version of it. Do you think Donald Trump will bring the country together? That is going to be a huge problem. On top of the fact that at least we used to have a media class that made sense. We had some people, Walter Cronkite, who was trusted by kind of everybody, regardless of political stripes. We don't have that now. So some people will turn to Joe Rogan, I suppose. Some people will turn to me. Some people will turn to whatever. And who knows what we'll all agree on. I don't know. I don't know.